Hi, and welcome to another episode of Life is Better with You here. Today, our topic is going to be on mental health, and we have a beautiful guest here, a young lady by the name of Dalia DeBro. She's going to talk to us about her experience of PTSD and being a survivor of a gunshot wound. Thank you so much, Dalia, for being here. First of all, let me commend you for being here and being able to tell your story. It takes a lot of courage to do that and to be able to speak about what has happened to you. Many people have been through something similar, but everybody's experience is individualized. Nobody's experience is like yours. And so to be able to come and sit here and talk to me about your experience, I just have to commend you for that. So first of all, I just want to ask, if it's not too personal, how old are you?
I'm 18.
You are doing the most. At 18, I could barely tie my shoes. So to be on a podcast and share your story with me is phenomenal. So you're a phenomenal young woman.
Thank you.
I want to say that to you, truly.
Thank you.
And if you haven't read Phenomenal Woman by Maya Angelou, please do read that.
Okay.
It is wonderful, and that speaks volumes to who you are and who you're going to be. You're already on a beautiful track for that.
I like to read too, so.
Great. Tell me some of your favorite books.
I'm into like mystery, so I like this one book called The Dollhouse. It's by Richard Montanari.
Nice.
It's really good.
Okay. I like reading. Reading is actually one of the great coping skills that we have. It's kind of a way to escape.
Yeah.
So I don't read anymore after my program. I refuse to pick up a physical book. However, I like audiobooks.
Okay.
So I've read over 100 books in the past year. Yeah, I've read them or had them read to me.
Okay.
So that kind of counts.
Same thing.
But yeah, we're going to count that. So I like that. So mysteries, do you do sci-fi or anything like that?
I like a little bit of sci-fi, really.
Okay.
But yeah, mystery is where it's at for me.
Okay. Check out Tananarive Due. She's a Black author. She does sci-fi.
Okay.
Phenomenal. She's great. So you will love her. And we'll talk off screen about some other Black sci-fi artists. You'll love them. Okay. So tell me a little bit about your experience. You start wherever you need to.
So really my experience, hold on.
It's okay.
Sorry,
this can be
like
hard.
a little giggly, but
Giggly is okay. So do you know that sometimes giggling can be a defense mechanism when we're nervous?
Yeah, that's probably how it is for me, because I do laugh when I'm nervous.
A lot of people laugh when they're nervous. So I'll tell you a little secret that I told the crew before. So me and my father were at a funeral, and it was my grandfather's funeral, meaning my dad's dad.
Yeah.
And they were all, dressed to form. Me and my father, we laugh at inappropriate times. We're in the back of the funeral cracking up, and everybody's looking at us like, what are you doing?
And everybody was crying. And it was
Other people were sad. Other people were crying. And it wasn't that we weren't sad. It was just how we handled things. So people handle things very differently. So giggling is okay, and it's welcome here. So how about I help you out a little bit? Would that be okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So I understand that you were shot. Okay. Can you tell me how that happened, where you were? Walk me through that scene.
Yeah. Okay. So I was at my grandmother's house, and at the time, my mom was dating this guy, and he had a daughter. We were the same age, and I didn't really like people like that. So I'm like, okay, like this is gonna be my friend, like we did everything together. So we was, being 14-year-olds, and we had snuck out the house. This is my first time ever doing something like that. So I'm like, okay, everything's going to be fine. Like, I know this neighborhood, and I'm going with people that I know from my old middle school. So, spoke too soon, didn't knock on wood. But, so we were just walking. We had walked to the park because it was right by my house. So we walked to the park, and then we walked back to my house. And then we walked back to, the street that I was on. So we were just walking, and sorry, I'm about to start laughing again because
It's okay.
but all I hear, I'm thinking it's fireworks. So I look in the air.
It's okay.
I'm thinking it's fireworks, so I look in the air, it didn't register to me. Then I see everybody running, so I'm like, okay, I should probably run too, you know. So then, so then I started running, but then like I couldn't run anymore. Like I just like my leg went numb, and I just had like fell like this, like my palms were down, so I caught myself.
Okay.
And I tried to get up. I'm like, why is my leg not moving? I was trying to get up, but it still didn't register to me like what was going on.
Wow.
So then, like, you know, everybody was running, so it was just me for a little second. I'm just like looking around, like, what is going on? It's dark outside. It's like, I want to say like 1, 2 in the morning at this point, 2 something. And then my friend, she comes back. So, well, I'll just call her my sister because that's what she was. But she comes back and she's like, you got to get up. You got to get up. I'm like, I can't. Like, I can't. And she's like, what's wrong? I guess, like it was a lot of blood on my backside. And both of our phones were dead. So
wow.
We had to, like, knock on the, good thing it was, like, on a street with houses. So knock on the houses. She did. I was just sitting there. And while I was sitting there, I was just saying my final goodbyes. I was like, God, please, I'm sorry, Mom, I'm sorry. Tell my sister I'm sorry. I'm like, I'm so sorry. And yeah, then it kind of gets a little foggy after that. But I just remember like the ambulance getting there, and I remember like the 2 men in the ambulance just like asking me questions so I could try to stay awake and stuff. And I was so uncomfortable because I was like naked. They had to cut my clothes off me.
Wow.
So yeah, and I just had a blanket. But he was like, yeah, you gotta stay awake. Then I'm like, I told him, I was like, can I just go to sleep? He was like, no. Yeah, and so we were just talking and stuff. And then, like, all I remember is getting to, like, the hospital, being, like, rushed in. I know I went to the left or something. And I was just sitting on the bed, and, like, it was still, like, wasn't, like, kind of registering to me. And so I was just like, okay. And then it didn't register to me until they started, like, trying to, you know, heal me up, do surgery. And then I just started screaming, yelling, like, where's my mom? Where's my mom? I want my mom. Oh, my mom, like, where's my mom? They're like, she's outside. She's waiting for you. I'm like, no, I want her now. Like,
in here.
Yeah, like, in here.
Yeah.
Where is she at? And then, like, I just seen, like, my bloody clothes in the, like, corner of the thing. And not gonna lie, the first thing I thought was, like, dang, that was my favorite sweatshirt. Like, you didn't have to cut that.
Those are important things at 14.
Yeah, like, it was pink, too. Like, you didn't have to cut that. It wasn't up there.
You could have just took it off, dude.
Right. And so then after that, I just, like, all I remember is, like, she came in there, and then I just, like, I don't know, like, my eyes just shut. You know, I remember us waking up in the bed, and she was right there and stuff, so... Yeah, it was an experience. Like, I had to, like, basically, like, learn how to walk again. I had crutches. I was doing physical therapy, so stuff like that. I was going to counseling, so.
Okay. So how was it for you to learn how to walk again?
It was kind of funny. Like you said, I think my way of dealing with things is just like laughing through it.
Okay.
So like me being on crutches and stuff. And it was like when I was a kid, I used to say, oh, I want crutches. They look so cool. But
be careful for what you ask for, right?
Okay. Exactly. And so, yeah, like, they had me, like, doing literally baby stuff, like having to step up on a little step. And, yeah, so, but my mom was there the whole time. So, like, I felt kind of, like, good to have somebody there.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was comfortable, like, the whole time, so.
And your mom sounds like a really, really wonderful person. Like, you were able, once she was there, to like actually rest and go to sleep because you knew she was safe.
Yeah.
Yes, they did surgery on you. Yes, the doctors were there. Yes, they saved you.
Yeah.
But she saved you.
Yeah, she was there the whole time. Like, we were literally sleeping in that little hospital bed together. We have pictures too. So, yeah, it was cramped like sardines. But it was cool.
But it was good.
Yeah.
It's nice to have our moms with us. They're very important. And it sounds like she played a very pivotal role in you
Yes.
healing and getting better and going through this.
She did.
And so the one thing we know about post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, is some people will either remember every detail and some people won't remember anything.
Mm-hmm.
So you are one of those people who you just told that story in perfect detail. It was very, very specific.
Mm-hmm.
How is it for you to be able to retell that story? What's the emotion behind telling that story for you?
Well, now it just feels like, it happened to me. So, like, I should be able to tell it. But, like, I used to not want to talk about it at all.
Mm-hmm.
Or, like, I just don't like talking about it. But it was kind of hard. But I think being in virtual school, like, after that year helped me because kids are mean. And, like, stuff gets around, like, really fast. Like, even to this day, people ask me, like, wait, didn't you get shot? Like, so,
wow.
Yeah. And so it's like,
So is there a sense that you can never really live this thing down?
Yeah. Like, I thought after the year, it'd be like, okay, nobody has to know. Because I'm not the type of person to tell people that stuff anyway. So I'm thinking, like, nobody would know. But, like, my whole school was, like, really knowing. I don't know how, but, yeah. And yeah.
Okay. But it sounds like you healed up really well.
Yeah.
And therapy was a part of that?
Yeah, I didn't really like my therapist though, so I just stopped going. But I did do physical therapy and just physical therapy. So
and physical and occupational therapy, or was it just PT?
It was just PT.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
You've done remarkably well for not everybody likes their therapist. So let's just be clear.
Yeah.
Every therapist is not a good fit for every person. So sometimes you have to find your person.
Yeah, I agree. And I think my first therapist just set the bar really high for me. So it's just like I don't really like anybody else who doesn't act like her. So it was just like, like, what is this? So
you're like, be gone.
Yeah.
You don't measure up.
Yeah, like she used to take me to get like milkshakes and stuff. We would
talk.
talk.
She was good.
Yeah, she was.
Okay.
Yeah. So just sit in that room, just like quiet and like just staring at me. It's like foreign to me a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, they shouldn't be just staring at you. They should ask questions and elicit conversation. And see who you are, what you want to talk about, who is Dalia, all those things. So, but it sounds like you had a really, really wonderful support system to help you get through this.
Yeah.
So, I understand that it's more than just your mother. Who else was in your support circle for you?
There was a lot of people who came to see me or FaceTimed me. My uncles, my aunties, my Auntie Mika, my Auntie Brittany, Jordy, Auntie Erica, Auntie Amber, Auntie Nine, my Auntie Ashley, my Auntie Ava, my Uncle Nelvian, my Uncle Chris, my Uncle Jason, Uncle Brandon, Uncle Ro, Uncle Otis. And all of my grandparents were there for me. My Gramps, my Mimi, my Grandma Addie, my Nana. All of my grandparents were there for me, my mama. And they done a lot for me and couldn't do it without my parents, so. At the time, I want to say the girl that was with me, we lived together, so it's like, and we shared a room. So she was always there. But really, honestly, it was only my mom and my mom. So... Like, she used to change my bandages. Like, when I had to go to my dad's house, she would just come there to change it.
Wow.
So, yeah.
She's really great. Mm-hmm. Okay. Good mom. So, I know that you said your mom was there to support you. Were there any other people in your support circle that was pivotal for you?
I want to say my CPAW, my little sister, Veda. My little brother, he was kind of a little too young at the time to really even know what was going on. Really, a lot of my intermediate family, like, even though I didn't get to see them during it, I know that they were there and stuff. Because when I had to be on bed rest and went home, like, a lot of people were visiting me. I was getting, like, edible arrangements and stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. And I know this was during COVID?
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people probably couldn't come in the hospital
Yeah.
with all the restrictions, but a lot of people were there for you and praying for you.
Yes.
Okay. So you really have a large family that came together for you at that time.
Yes.
Okay. And so before any of this happened, how was life for you before the shooting?
Life before it was pretty chill for me. You know, it was COVID, so we didn't have any school. It just felt like a long break. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah, and I had a friend my age, and I was always with my siblings. Like, I feel like that's why I don't really like care to have too many friends now, because I was
Okay.
always like hanging out with my family, so
Okay.
I didn't really need to. Yeah, before it was pretty good for me.
Okay. And family relationships good? Everything in the home was good? You felt safe? Everything?
Honestly, I felt like I was just being a kid. Like, I wasn't really worried about any of that stuff, like, until, like, you know, like, I was just living
Being
my
a
life.
kid.
Yeah.
Okay, happy, being 14,
Yeah.
doing things that 14-year-olds do,
Yeah.
which includes sneaking out every
Yes.
now and again.
Yeah.
And this just wrong place, wrong time.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So after the shooting, after the hospitalization, after learning how to walk again, having all that support, were you having nightmares? Were there times where you felt like you were reliving this? How was that for you?
I know that in the hospital, from being told that I would like wake up like kind of screaming and stuff like that. So like, I think I was reliving it, but like I don't remember. I remember like waking up, but I think I did that a couple times.
Okay.
And no, I didn't really have nightmares, but like, I'm a thinker, so like, if like sometimes I'll just like think about it in my head, or like it's probably every day that I think about it, but it's just like not in a sad way. It's just like, okay, this keeps replaying in my head, so it's like, why? But no, yeah, I was like waking up, screaming, like kind of reliving it, but that's the only thing that I can really think of.
Okay. How does it affect you today?
Today, I would say I try not to let it affect me. So I don't really, like, I don't like loud noises. I don't like big crowds. Like, have really bad, like, kind of social anxiety sometimes if I'm not with somebody who, like, I can just be myself with them.
Can feel safe with?
Yeah, so, like we were talking about my support system, like, my mom and my sister, that's probably the only people I could feel comfortable, like, going out with most of the times, because I get like really like nervous and anxious, and I'm always like observant, watching my surroundings. So I feel like that's kind of like a good thing though that came from it. Maybe
it can be a good thing, but actually what you just described are all the markers of PTSD.
Oh.
They are all the markers of PTSD, avoiding people, places, and things that remind us of the event. It reminds me of a saying that I just found. It isn't in my past, it's in my everyday. It just didn't happen yesterday, it happens to me every day.
Yeah.
You said every day, it's on your mind. You don't know why, but you think about it every day because it's your everyday. You avoid crowds, so it's avoiding those things. You're hyper vigilant. You're always on the lookout for something. If you hear a loud noise, how does that impact you?
I'm just like really like, I just get startled, or I just kind of get a little bit scared.
So it's funny that you should say that. On the PTSD screen, one of the questions is hypervigilant or easily startled. And you use the exact word startled. Yeah. Those are all signs and symptoms of PTSD, the post-traumatic stress disorder. The high anxiety, always worried about what if. You know, when something's going to happen, the social anxiety, not trusting a lot of people, not wanting to be around a lot of people. So, you know, a little bit of anxiety is good.
Yeah.
You know, back in our caveman times, we needed anxiety. If I see a bear, I need to know to run, right?
Right.
But over anxiety, being easily startled, stops me from living the life I should be able to live. Stops me from going out and enjoying the things that I used to enjoy. Do you find that you're not enjoying life like you used to enjoy it? Are you not doing things that you would typically have done?
I think I'm not doing things I typically would have done, but I think it's like, a distraction kind of. Like, I'm kind of distracted. Like, I try to go, but I just end up wanting to go home. So,
Okay.
yeah.
So it does stop you from living your best life.
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. And so I'm going to say to you, you deserve to live your best life and not let this get the best of you because you've already survived it.
Yeah.
And so now we need to get you to thrive. Okay. Being more than a survivor. You've done that. Check and check. Let's get to thriving.
Okay.
So I also understand that with this hasn't been the only trauma that you've endured.
Oh.
You're like, oh no, that's just not all of it. Do tell, Dalia. What else has happened for you? What other traumas have occurred?
I want to say like, my younger days, but honestly, not even my younger days, but like my parents, they used to argue a lot. They used to get into it. Like just I used to like move a lot, like house to house, like because my parents were separated. So like, and my mom, she worked a lot, but I was always with her. But I don't really remember like seeing my dad too much.
Okay.
But like he was definitely there though, I know, for like my younger days though. So yeah, there's that. And my dad, like he's kind of a little bit what's the word? Physical sometimes.
Okay.
Used to be. And so, like, I think he needs anger management, honestly. He probably does. But, and I don't know, it's like me and my younger sister, Veda, like, he kind of, like, tend to get a little bit physical, used to get a little bit physical.
Okay.
But one day I was just like, I'm not doing this no more. So I just fought back. But, and so there's that. It's a lot more stuff, but I'm sure we don't have time for that.
We have time for whatever you need, but to be able to even tap into that little bit. So when we talk about trauma, there is what we call complex trauma. And what complex trauma is when we have multiple things happen to us. And complex trauma usually starts in childhood. And it starts with those things when there's emotional, physical, any kind of abuse like that, whether it happens to us or we witness it. And it starts in childhood. And then it kind of goes from there. And then other traumas get piled on top of it.
Yeah.
And so there's also this survey. It's called the Adverse Childhood Experiences. It's called the ACEs.
Okay.
And one of the questions on the ACEs is, have you ever witnessed physical abuse, drug abuse, or anything like that in the home? And you check off, there's like 10 questions, and you check them off. And the higher your number is, the higher your probability of having trauma. So most of us have had one or two ACEs, but the higher your score, the more likely it is that you've experienced trauma.
Yeah.
So you're already saying that you at least have one ACEs. You've moved a lot. That's probably two. So some of these things aren't what everybody experiences. So you've endured a lot. And so sometimes when we go through those things as children, we normalize it. Oh, everybody's doing that. This is nothing. I got this.
Yeah.
Everybody's parents fight. People separate, whatever. People's dads aren't around until we see other families and they're doing something different. So how has that impacted you on how you manage relationships, how you manage friendships?
Honestly, I feel like I'm kind of a people pleaser, or like I have like really bad like abandonment issues. It's crazy because the other day, I want to say like 2 days ago, my best friend, she just came back in from town, and we were having a talk or whatever. We're in like a little group, but she told me like, I think you should focus on yourself. Like, I think you would go like way further. But I started crying because I'm like, I don't want you to leave me, like, because I'm like, you can't leave me, like,
I need you.
Yeah. So, but she, she's really good. Like, she reassured me and stuff like that. So, yeah.
And we can have abandonment issues when the important people in our lives don't stick around.
Yeah.
When they go in and out. And they may be around, but I need you.
Yeah.
I need you to be here for me. I need you to teach me these things. I need you to love me in the way I deserve and need to be loved.
Yeah.
And so when those people don't do that, we look for outside people to fill that hole. And not everybody can do that. And so then we have to figure out how to do that for ourselves. And that can be very difficult. And so that abandonment is very real. And again, may go to a childhood issue.
Mm-hmm.
And so the good thing is you're aware of it. The better thing is you can get help for that. And these are things that make us thrivers.
Okay.
Okay? You can thrive through this. Okay? You know, they talk about Black girl magic and Black boy joy.
Yeah.
Yes, we have all that. But sometimes, girl, we get tired of being magical.
Right.
Okay? Sometimes we want somebody to come and walk alongside us and hold our hand and sometimes even carry us. And that's okay. That is okay. That's what we have our mothers and sisters and friends for.
Yeah.
And our grandpas and our uncles and all those people who will fill in those spots for us.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have a wonderful support system. And I want you to keep leaning into that. But also lean into who you are as a young woman. You may not see it, but you're a beautiful spirit. You're a beautiful soul. And you need to tap into that more. Okay? Don't forget who you are. You're here for a reason. If you were supposed to be taken out, you'd be gone. You're not. There's a gift that you have that is meant for you to share with the world. When you figure out what it is, you'll start to share it. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.